Let the healing begin, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with Stuff's Getting Deep, but on the Esteban experience side of things now. So we're going to set our course for another Esteban experience, and let's see where it takes us. Today, we have a return guest, somebody that I am extremely fond of and just think the world of. I am talking about the none other and incomparable Ryan ROXIE. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much I want to get into with him. So, as they say, there's no time like the present. So, join me in welcoming back to the podcast Ryan ROXIE. Ryan, welcome
Hello.
back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me back, Esteban, and thank you to your listeners for continued support. And I don't know if it was their idea or if it's just your crazy ideas, but it's great to be back.
Well, it's actually their idea, but of course, we love having you on because just the stories you have of the road and just your history in music is, I believe, truly in my heart, is resonating with a lot of folks out there that are starting this journey that you've been on for some time now and doing a great job. So tell us what's been going on since the last time we saw each other.
Since the last time we spoke, we've been pretty much all over Europe the last few months, touring from basically Turkey, started the tour down in Turkey, and then all the way up to Norway and Sweden. So the greater part of Europe. And it's just been nonstop busy. We've done a bunch of U.S. touring as well since we spoke. I think the last time we spoke, we were in the midst of a U.S. tour, but we went all around the U.S. And we're going back there again in September to play some festivals and then end out the year on a big U.S.-Canada tour and some more dates with the illusionist Criss Angel. So when you say getting deep, that's basically been my life story. I've been in the trenches of rock and roll, so it's fitting that being in the trenches and Stuff's Getting Deep are sort of similar.
That's correct. I mean, the last time we spoke, y'all were on, it was actually the first show of Alice's Attic Tour here in the great San Antonio, Texas, at the historical Majestic Theater. It was magical.
I appreciate you coming out to the rock show. I mean, that was a big thing that's happened in the last few months, is that we've gotten to work in and play with Anna Cara, the new guitarist for the Alice Cooper band. And she's obviously filling in while Nita is being a mama. And she had her baby since then, so congrats to her. And, you know, Anna's just been killing it every night. Between myself, Anna, and Tommy, it's one of those guitar trios to be reckoned with. We got a nice piece in Guitar World magazine and a nice little feature that they gave us. We've just been out there rocking it every single night, trying to, you know, make a point that we're a band to be reckoned with. And what can you say? I feel, in my humble opinion, we've got the best lead singer in the entire world right now fronting the band. And his name just happens to be Alice Cooper.
And you know, the world agrees with you 100%.
It's amazing how many people, like, even on this last European tour and some of the dates in the U.S., people are still just discovering Alice now. They've heard the name over the years, and now, you know, we've been playing enough years consistently and touring consistently that people are coming out to shows because it's something that they've heard about over the years. They maybe haven't seen it yet. And it amazes me that people haven't seen an Alice Cooper show yet. There's a lot of people that have seen it, you know, up to 100 times. There's people that coming up to me. So it's two ends of the spectrum. Some people have seen the show multiple times, and other people come up to me and say, this is the first time I ever saw the band, and I'm so happy I came. So wherever you are between those two posts, come out to a show before the end of the year. I think it's a real special show. This one, Alice's Attic, and the one that we're doing in Vegas, which is the Welcome to Our Nightmare tour. So two separate shows, two different set lists, some of the same songs with different arrangements, and again, two totally different vibes of Alice Cooper. But again, the band, we're just trying to kick it on all cylinders and rev it every single night.
I've been noticing that the audience, speaking of the newfound fans, so to speak, the age variances is quite impressive, actually, because these are some folks that you could tell maybe have just entered college or whatnot, and loving every minute of the show. I know at the Majestic Theater, I was watching some of the young fans just sing along, and that really, I mean, it warmed my heart for y'all.
Well, when I first joined the band in '96, it was kind of the anomaly to meet, a parent and their kids coming to the show. That was really cool to see. Now it's not uncommon at all to see, a fan of the band going to the show with their grandparents. And I think that's ultra cool. That shows the longevity of rock and roll. And that does sort of that whole term, rock and roll will never die. It's a spirit and being handed down to generation. And I think Alice Cooper's proving that.
And I am a huge music fan, and I don't think there's a touring act out there to date that can beat you, Anna, and Tommy as a triple threat on guitars. It's amazing, the talent between all three of y'all.
I appreciate your kind words, Esteban, but we all know that there's some killer kick-ass guitar duos and trios and single guitar players out there. I mean, hell, I did a couple songs with Steel Panther the other night in Europe. I got up on stage with them, and Satchel is such an amazing guitar player. So we know that there's a lot of talent out there and people bringing it, but we're trying to do it in our own special way. And I think the thing that hopefully sets us apart is that we have such a spectrum and a repertoire of eras of Alice Cooper, and we cover all of them. We cover from this, 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts, up until, the newest album, which is, Road with Alice Cooper. So all the way up from, early 70s to 2025, 26, we're just trying to represent all those eras as best as we can. And I'm happy that you guys are responding to it.
How many songs did you write on Road?
I had two. Everybody brought in like two songs, two specific ideas that they were able to contribute. And then everybody piled on and added their touch to each of those ideas. So the two that I brought in were I'm Alice and All Around the World. And then, of course, we did a couple. There was a cover, I think, Magic Bus from The Who. And is that my cat scratching on the thing? Hey, Panda, stop it. What are you doing? Trying to ruin my studio over here.
We're a household of cats too.
I'm hearing this scratching going on. I'm going, Panda never does that. But of course, during a podcast, Panda would. But yeah, there was some, I think Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, he contributed to one of the songs. Kane Roberts had some contribution as well. So yeah, Tommy had some, Chuck had some. Of course, Alice contributed to every single song with his lyrics, and just the second you put on Alice's voice to any recording, it becomes an Alice Cooper song. No matter who writes it, it doesn't matter if it's Ryan Roxie or Desmond Child or anybody that he's written with over the years. The second Alice's voice is on one of your songs, it's an Alice Cooper song.
On May 17th of this year, you had a phenomenal reunion with a band that I am very familiar with, back in the day. Quite frankly, it was your 30th anniversary reunion show at the Viper Room with Dad's Porno Mag.
Yep.
Tell us all about that.
Wow. That was really a very cool night, a very special moment for the three of us to get together. The original recording, the band that recorded the album, myself, Mike Fasano on the drums, 𝐒𝐓𝐔𝐅𝐅'𝐒 on the bass guitar. The producers showed up, Mark Schulman, Jim Mitchell, our old manager, Rick Canny. It was like, and everybody that had come to see us back in the day all came out to the Viper Room for that one special night. And a lot of great, amazing fans from Alice Cooper fans and ROXIE, all accessors and RGA faithful flew in for the show, which I thought was really cool. And you know, one of the coolest things was my son was able to see me play. He came out to the show. He's living in Los Angeles right now. So my son Lennon was able to see his old pop do what he does and front a band. So it was a different sort of side of him seeing, because he's always seen me play with Alice before, but he hasn't seen me front a band. And this was the 30th anniversary of the DPM, Dad's Porno Mag album being released. So it was really, again, special night. And then on top of that, it wasn't just DPM, it was a reunion of our cat club band we used to call it was either called the Starfuckers or it was called the Other White Meat, one or the other. It was a jam band that we had put together, and it had, you know, one of my best friends, Stefan Adika, who played on it, and Eric Dover, the amazing Eric Dover on vocals, and we had Teddy, who did we have? Of course, Slim Jim Phantom on drums.
Phantom, yeah.
I mean, and I think, who else Dizzy was on keyboards as well, Dizzy Reed, and it was just a really, really amazing night overall. So again, big shout out to Mike Fasano and 𝐒𝐓𝐔𝐅𝐅'𝑒 and for making it happen.
What a rare Sunset Strip reunion, huh?
Dude. You know, and I do have to add, Scotty Coogan was our special guest drummer, came in the 11th hour to just come in and save the day. When him and Jim drumming together was like an arena in a club. So again, big shout out to everybody in the Other White Meat Starfuckers, and we had some guests who came up. Tommy and Anna came up and played some songs as well. So it was a great night overall. But you know, for me, all the work that we put into those songs with Dad's Porno Mag, all the rehearsing really paid off. And it was the first time, I got to be honest with you, Esteban, the first time that band had played the entire album from front to back at a live show. We've always rehearsed it. We would always rehearse the entire album, rehearse all the songs. But back in the day when we were just, you know, an opening band, or, you know, open up for Slash's Snake Pit back in the day. We opened up for a bunch of other bands and did the whole club scene before, but you'd never get more than 35, 45 minutes. So our album clocked in at just under an hour. So boom, there we were. And we played the entire album front to back. So it was very cool.
So I'm super curious. How did this fit in to the tour schedule? Because it's crazy already, the schedule you have. Now, was there like a couple of days off, or was there like a week off?
There was actually a perfect amount of time where it didn't make it feasible for me to fly all the way back to South Africa, but I could fly to Los Angeles, hang with my buds and my friends, and, you know, Keith and Paul, and those are, you know, my best friends that I've been with for many, many years, hanging out. And my son now lives there, be able to see him, get together with DPM, with Mike and Will, rehearse at Mates. You know, the shady character that I talk about that helped me get into the Alice Cooper band, Bobby, got to reconnect with him. He's the guy that owns Mates, and that's where I actually tried out for Alice Cooper, was at Mates rehearsal. So we had some nights at Mates rehearsal that we were able to hone the songs in. Just enough time, 10 days break between an Alice Cooper tour and an Alice Cooper Vegas show to get in there and do that reunion show. So we were super excited about it. And again, just if there's any footage, if you guys can find it, send it on over, post it, and tag it, because I'm still living off that high of that night. It was fun.
I can imagine. And the regimen, I saw some excerpts of this breathing apparatus that y'all do before the show. It looks like a vape pen, but it's not.
Oh yeah. That the vaporizer that we do, the vocalizer, vocal mist. Yeah, vocal mist. I mean, dude, they've been supportive of us. They've sent us a bunch of the saline that goes in there, and it actually everybody in the Alice Cooper band, because we all sing. That is the one thing that with Alice Cooper band, you not only play your instrument, but you are expected to sing and sing harmonies. And we have a 5-part harmony going sometimes. Not everybody's singing a different harmony, but a lot of doubling, a lot of 2 parts, 3 parts. And even Cheryl, Alice's wife, is singing from the side of the stage sometimes. She's got a microphone as well. So that vocal mist, it helps us out a lot before the show. We have a couple other tricks up our sleeve. Eric Singer from the band Kiss, drummer, he turned us on to a couple of vocal exercises and tricks, and Mucinex, the original Mucinex, and all this kind of stuff. So there's a couple things, and then we do things that maybe they don't help with the vocals at all, but we think they do. So maybe it's a little placebo effect. But we always do a little shot of whiskey before the show, because Tommy and we do just a little, not just enough to wet the whistle, and
right.
We're convinced that helps our vocals out almost every night.
I've heard that too. I no kidding, I've heard that too.
Kids, if you want some good vocal advice, just do a little shot of whiskey right before you go on stage. You'll sing great.
Speaking of singing great, perfect segue. So tell me about Better Than You and Fight Another Day, because huge fans of those songs. As soon as they came out, I know me and my girlfriend were searching through YouTube to find them, because I said, hey, listen, Ryan's got another song out. She goes, let's hear it, pull it up. So big fans of those songs. How are they doing right now?
Dude, that was another huge thing that happened since the last time we spoke. Scotty Hagen over at Bellyache Records put out a 7-inch double-sided single, like a 45 of both those songs, Better Than You and Fight Another Day. So if you want to go to either my RyanRoxie.com, there's a link for it right there, or BellyacheRecords.com. You can find the 7-inch. It's great packaging. Scotty has done the last few Ryan Roxie records that I've done, and Roxie 77 records. He specializes in vinyl. It's nice to have a tangible thing that you can listen to. Even if you go watch the videos on YouTube, which I hope you do, or you go watch it on your favorite streaming platform, that's fine. But then you hold the 7-inch in your hand and you read through it, and you get to have the lyrics all there right in front of you. It's something tangible to touch. It's a throwback for me of the way I grew up on rock and roll.
Same here. I do want to add this, I guess via Bellyache Records, and correct me if I'm wrong, only 550 copies were pressed.
Yes.
Across red, purple, and black variants. And includes a signed 4x6 card for the initial orders, I guess, right?
Exactly. I think if you go there right now and check it out, whether it's my website or you go to Bellyache Records directly, you can find out whether we still have those signed ones available. I think there might be a couple. Again, red vinyl, purple
Yes.
vinyl, classic black, whichever
Yeah.
one. Maybe get all three. That's the
Why not?
You know what? We priced it out at a good price so that everybody can afford it. I think it's like something like $15 for a 7-inch, and it's again
Very affordable.
It's more about the experience of having a record to hold in your hand or stick the poster on your wall. That sort of thing is kind of like goes hand in hand with rock and roll 101 and the way I grew up, doing what I do.
And is any of that available on the All Access 2026 pass?
Well, the thing is, the All Accessors, they have a 50% discount on the vinyl if they join, because it's a cool little deal for the All Accessors. That is their little bonus of this year's. They get 50% off of it, and I believe it's Scotty has done something special for the All Accessors. He always does. He's like one of the coolest vinyl guys out there. So if you're an up and coming band and you have you want to put out your own vinyl, talk to at least go search out Scotty at Bellyache Records, because you know what, the people that help this whole thing out, the whole ROXIE thing out, I love giving credit to. I love giving credit to people, everyone that's helped out. I drop a lot of names, and a lot of it is for gratitude, because there's a lot of people that help out make this whole thing, run and turn over. Right now, as we're doing this podcast, Federica, who is heavily involved in coordinating my social media and
love her.
Just all the logistics, she's the one that emails the podcast guests and returns a lot of the emails of questions that eventually get to me. She's now putting together a Ryan ROXIE photo archive, which is really cool, which again is part of another project that's coming out in the coming months. But we're putting together a lot of cool photos and memories, and trying to get out the best of the best so we can put it out in some fashion. But you know what? I've already spoken too much. I'm foreshadowing. Let's move on.
I'm just saying, I love her. She's an amazing individual and does amazing work for you.
Well, killer, man. Well, but so do you, man. Having me on and always supporting what I do, and hopefully it's a positive message to everybody, and hopefully it's inspiring. Again, if anybody is thinking about doing music for a living, it's completely possible. It does take some work, doing something every single day that gets you on your way to your goal, and whatever it is. And even if you don't want to, even if your goal isn't to like tour the world and be away from your home, more months out of the year than you're not, just play some guitar, learn some songs, write some songs. It's great therapy. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to inspire that sort of aspect of it. And if you're thinking about playing guitar, System 12 is still an option for you to check out. And that's still on the website. The first couple lessons are free. It gives you a nice foundation of learning guitar. But again, there's so much stuff out there on the internet. I just want to give you a nice foundation so that the strings, the notes, basic fundamentals of guitar, your power chords, and then on your way, you go start your own guitar journey that way. So hopefully I can help in some way. 3 Ps, baby. Practice, persistence, and patience. You know it. And we try to do it every single day. I've gotten a few more. I've written a few more down, or I've gotten a couple more quotes. Maybe I could tell you some of the other quotes that I think I've been, because I always write them down when something's like, gets me, inspired or something.
Sure.
And it's not always me that thinks of them, because some of them it is. It's well, here's one that doesn't really make sense, but I put it in my notes anyway. It's all a bunch of bullshit, my friend, and we're just rolling around in it. Okay, that was me a long time. But there are some other quotes that are really quite good. Jimmy Carr, the comedian, it's your quality of life minus envy that shows how happy you are. I love that. And then
profound.
a guy that I follow that's a economist, investor, macro investor, Ray Dalio. Combine your talent and passion into one job, but don't forget about the money. Of course, a financial guy would say that, but it's true. You know what? If you can combine your talent and your passion into one job that you actually enjoy doing, but you don't forget about making money on it, you're going to be the happiest guy in the world. And honestly,
yeah,
I've been able to do that for a few years.
And at that point, you've won.
Well, here, you know what? Here's one of my. Where's my favorite one? Where is it? Well, somewhere else, obviously. Show up on time. This is a good one. Show up on time, know the text, and have an idea that nobody else has. That's Tom Hanks. There you go. Have an idea that nobody else has. You walk into the room. Make yourself unexpendable.
There was a shirt back in my early touring day, and it was the sound guy who was on that tour was wearing it. I said, "What is that?" He says, "It's called the No One Is Irreplaceable t-shirt." I said, whose shirt is that? He goes, "It's Andy Taylor's shirt." So any road crew guy,
Andy Taylor from Duran Duran,
yeah, and Power Station, yeah.
Yeah,
so
my band opened up for Andy Taylor back in the day at the ROXIE.
Really?
Yeah. I was in a band called Electric Angels. And
I remember Electric Angels.
Yeah. We opened up for Andy Taylor at the ROXIE. There it is.
So his name was on there. His name was Horace Henry.
So he said basically no one. He wore a shirt that said no one is.
It was a T-shirt that basically for every road crew guy that got fired from Andy Taylor, it was called the Nobody is Irreplaceable T-shirt. And I said, "Is your name on there?" He goes, "Yep, right here."
Nobody is irreplaceable. It's very. Is it ironic? Is it coincidental? I never know the word. Alanis Morissette's going to have to help me out. But is it a little bit ironic that he was replaced in Duran Duran?
Correct.
by Warren Cucurullo, who was in Warren Cucurullo from Missing Persons. I actually saw the Missing Persons last show ever.
Amazing.
At Magic Mountain and in in California, in where is it, in the Santa Clarita, that area. It is an amusement park called Magic Mountain. A lot of roller coasters, amazing place to go to. But I saw their last show because apparently right before the show, the guitar player Warren admitted to the drummer that he had been sleeping with the singer, and the drummer and the singer were married. So apparently there was a weird vibe going on. I don't know what happened. It was a little bit of a weird vibe. But wow. I definitely saw the last show because they didn't play after that. And then a couple years later, Warren was in Duran Duran. I still think he's in the band to this day. And he has become an expendable as opposed to Andy Taylor. But I still love Andy Taylor. We actually did.
Isn't that ironic?
And you are Alanis Morissette. There you go. I got one hand in my pocket, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, if that situation had happened today, they'd give him a TV show.
You ought to know. See?
Wow.
Let's keep going on the Alanis Morissette.
This guy, he's on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
I love Canadians. Gotta love the Canadians.
how does it feel, or what is your thought process when uh people, I mean, you've played with everybody, as we just talked about, Electric Gypsies, Candy.
Electric Angels, but
Oh, I'm
Gypsies,
sorry.
we should have been
I'm
Electric
so
Gypsies.
sorry.
That we could have actually done something then. Damn it. So just those little, those quick little decisions. It's those little twists. If we would have called ourselves Electric Gypsies, I think everything would have worked out. Damn it.
So my mind gets ahead of my mouth sometimes, but so you've done Slash's Snake Pit.
Yeah.
Now you're obviously longtime Alice Cooper. Now your own mix, if you will, in this giant, wonderful formula of yours. But I was reading the other day where I guess the columnist, we'll call him, compared your sound, which is great, to Cheap Trick and Oasis if they had a baby. If they had a baby.
Oasis, if they had a baby? Yeah. I love this journalist. They are my favorite. They've become my number one journalist because those two bands I have the utmost respect for. And that's so cool. But, I'm not going to fool myself and think that, I could get up to that level. But you know what? You can try. You can try your best, and if people like it they put it on the same playlist, then I'm the happiest guy in the world because those two bands are killer. And you throw a little Dandy Warhols in there, and then you add a little bit of this or that, even a little bit of Alice Cooper vibe, old school OG Alice Cooper in there. It's going to be, that's a good recipe. I love it. So, but Cheap Trick and Oasis, if you can get compared to those two, that's a bill you want to be on for sure.
My mind immediately went there, and I was combining the two sounds, and I saw it immediately. I didn't disagree with it.
All right. Well, then, you know what? Wait till you hear my new stuff. You're going to love it even more,
Oh my God. I can't wait. When is that happening, by the way?
It's a collective, and honestly, I think between myself and Robbie, who's been producing a lot of the stuff that I've been writing lately, is Robbie Miller, who's great guitarist in his own right and songwriter himself. He lives in Canada. A lot of my tracks come internationally, whether it's like the drums being recorded in the States. Trent Teakin has played the drums on the last couple tracks. Great drummer. He also plays in Chuck's band with Beasto Blanco. You have Trent playing the drums in the States. Perhaps I'm laying down my vocals here in the studio in South Africa. You send these tracks up to Canada, get them mixed, then they come back. You do, a lot of different, there's a lot of different layers and steps towards the song being finished. But when it's all done, it's an international affair. And I'm happy that Robbie's been a part of it. And then you send it over to get mixed or mastered by Matt Marzola, who's really good at his craft as well. And then, at the end of the day, Scotty Bellacci over there, Bellacci Records, packages it up in a nice 7-inch single, or maybe it becomes a vinyl, or maybe it becomes something else, and then all of a sudden it's a product that maybe people want to have in their house, and that makes me happy.
That makes all of us happy, actually. I wanted to ask you about that, actually. From your perspective, did moving away from LA get rid of all of or what's that saying? Now that the trees are gone, I can see the forest. Did a lot of the stuff there in LA, did moving away make a big difference in your writing and in your vision, if you will?
I don't know if it made a big difference in my writing. It caused, at the end of the day, moving out of LA and then subsequently getting divorced, and then having a lot of that traumatic stuff happen between with a breakup and stuff. Those definitely inspire, a bunch of therapeutic actions, which turn into songs, which can be anger, which can be remorse, which can be a bunch of different emotions come out in those songs. So I don't know. I think stepping out of LA and being able to live as many years as I have outside of LA, it makes me appreciate going there and visiting it because I do really love the city. I always will love Los
Mhm.
Angeles. When you live there, it's a different vibe. When you're able to tour there and go through there and spend a little bit of time like we did when we did the Dad's Porno Mag reunion, um, you dip your toe in it and you can feel the energy, and it's a very creative, but it's also a very competitive energy.
Oh yeah.
Whereas out here in, Cape Town or Stockholm, Sweden, of course there is creativity, but it's much more you're competing and only challenging yourself much more. It's much more of that vibe. You're not comparing yourself to everyone else because this is where my world is. This is where I'm able to create and come up with new ideas and stuff. So I'm always challenging myself. Where is in LA, I think I was trying to, at least for me personally, I was trying to compete with the other trends or other bands. So taking a step back from that for me was a positive, but it doesn't mean that when I go there, I don't love it and appreciate it, and very thankful that I was living in Los Angeles when I did, because I honestly feel I lived in Los Angeles at the best time I could ever live in LA. I was able to experience New York City at the best time I was able to do it during those years. I've been able to live in Stockholm during amazing years for me, even though, you know, all the bullshit, there was a lot of great shit that happened as well. And now subsequently living here in Cape Town, I feel like, I really do try and live by this term because, you hear me with the 3 Ps, you hear me with enjoy the ride. This is one of my best, and maybe I'll leave you on one of these, sort of wrap it up with this best quote, but it's from Damone from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, who is from LA, by the way, the whole Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But Damone said something really important that I try to hold true to today. Wherever you are is the place to be. That's Damone from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Look it up and live by it.
All right. So you're now in South Africa, but at one time you were living in Sweden, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. I lived in 19 winters in Sweden. That's the way we look at it. That's the way we gauge it.
Awesome. And like I said, I always wanted to ask you, a lot of people say, man, I'm so glad I'm out of LA. I can write songs now and this and that, right? I wanted to know what your perspective was and what your experience is actually, or was.
Um, I honestly did my best to surround myself with the best musicians possible in
Mhm.
Sweden. And as I did in Los Angeles, I was lucky enough to play with the best of the best in Los Angeles as far as drummers and songwriters go. So I just translated the whole thing over in Sweden and did a few of my own projects there. I did my own version of Roxy 77 there and was able to put out a few albums if you want to check that out, with 2 sides to every story and the Roxy 77 Amerisuite EPs. Those are both available on streaming platforms, as well as on the Roxy box. But like I said, playing with musicians in Sweden, it's such a high level of musicianship. So a drummer we had, Anton Shorbert, was great. Magnus Wilkstrom on the bass guitar, Eric Riedman on guitar as well. All these musicians just really taught me a lot about songwriting and actually playing in normal tuning. I'm used to writing my songs a step down or even a whole step down with Dad's Porno Mag. Swedish musicians, A440 standard tuning, and then I used a capo on many of the Roxy 77 songs for that. So I was also in a
Wow.
band called Casablanca, which had a lot of great collective of Swedish musicians. So you can check out that as well. All those links are at ryanroxie.com if you want to check them out.
Ryan, I can't thank you enough for taking time to spend with us today. I think it's a great place for us to leave it.
All
But
right.
We definitely want to have you come back a bunch of times. Tell folks how they can get into the all access pass to
Yeah.
become an all accessor.
If you want to become an all accessor, it's a very cool, tight knit group. We have a bunch of different things that we do aside from the normal Ryan ROXIE Instagram and Facebook media that comes out and stuff. We do a lot of stuff, things that people want to see, me playing guitar on stage and with Alice, but there's a lot of other special stuff that we do, day-to-day stuff, certain meet and greets, little private guitar lessons, group guitar lessons. We do Zoom meetings where we all get together, and it's a much tighter knit circle RGA, you could say.
Sure.
And the all accessors are sort of like the elite group of that. And we honestly love the whole experience of it, of getting to know the fans and getting to know the supporters and getting to know me, different sides of me, not just me with the, pink sunglasses on. Sometimes it's me with like, not looking so great, but you know what? That's me too.
Nah. You always look like $1 million. We think the world of you, Ryan ROXIE. We always have, always will. And one quick thing before I let you go, I saw a short excerpt again of you giving away the first guitar I noticed in your studio.
Oh yeah,
and that is called the Revenge guitar, correct?
The Rock and Roll Relics Revenge. We raffled it off last year for our good friend Chris Penn's family. Chris unfortunately passed away, and his family needed a little bit of help and support, and the ROXIE Guitar Army delivered and donated a lot to the GoFundMe, and we were able to give it away to Naomi, and we were able to hand off that guitar in Germany this last European tour. So it was a negative about Chris, obviously, and we miss him and we love him, but it ended up being a net positive because the family is just amazing. The Penn family is great, and the support that all of the RGA showed was amazing as well. So thank you again.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Ryan ROXIE. Ryan, thank you.
Before we cut off again, I'll see you at ryanroxie.com, and I'll see you again. I feel like one of those reoccurring guests on your show, sort of like a David Letterman guest. So we'll put it up there on that level. And thanks again for having me on, Esteban. And everybody, have a good one. Until next time, enjoy the ride.
God bless you, man.
See you, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye. You too.